It's one of the most horrendous cases I've ever done. Unfortunately, the human tragedy that went on during this case, it's actually leaving me speechless.
What motivated your client to behave in this way?
We really have no idea as to what was going on in this case. Obviously, there was a financial gain for it, but other than that, there had to be something more.
What do you think? I know it was a joint submission, but 6 years for your clients, your thoughts on that?
Well, 6 years I think was a very fair sentence for my client, specifically because human trafficking with an aggravating feature is a mandatory minimum of 5. So because of her record, the fact that she's never spent time in jail before, this is a very hefty sentence, 6 years. But it's a very fair sentence also, dealing with the level of tragedy that we had to deal with in this case.
They are horrific facts. It was a case that took quite a bit of effort to eventually resolve. A number of the original charges, from the defense perspective, we felt they couldn't be charged or they couldn't be convicted. He couldn't be convicted, and he was adamant that he was innocent of some of the charges. So eventually, after a lot of hard work, the matter was resolved in a manner that really addressed all the factors that should have been addressed. And it ultimately ended up being a significant sentence, but a fair sentence given all the circumstances.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Ms. Schram's lawyer. What motivated your client to behave in this way?
Well, that's very complicated. As His Honor indicated during his decision, my client suffers from multiple significant mental health issues. That, coupled with a lengthy history of substance abuse, played into, I'm sure, in large part to this sort of behavior. However, does it explain it? Really? Perhaps in part, but it's really a difficult sort of question to answer.
Well, it was a very emotional experience for everybody involved. I was looking around the courtroom as I was reading in the facts for 50 minutes, almost an hour, which is usually unheard of in any type of criminal case. It was just very difficult speaking on behalf of myself and Ms. Puskas, who was also co-counsel on this case. It was a very difficult and emotional experience for both of us, and we're people who are familiar with this case from head to toe. None of this came as a surprise to us, but just reading in those facts again and seeing the look on Justice Thomas's face, and Justice Thomas himself is aware of all the facts of this case, you can tell that there's a visceral reaction to everything that happened to the victim in this case. So it was really difficult. That's what my reaction is. It was really difficult for everybody involved.